WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good afternoon. We're rolling toward 12:30. Glad you're with us on this Monday. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. Arctic air blasting central Kentucky overnight and bringing with it temperatures near zero. Attention
getting, right? We have issued a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day because of the dangerous cold and its impact. We began with WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
We're just about, guys, as warm as we're going to get the entire day. It doesn't get much warmer than this. Maybe a couple of degrees, maybe a few if you're lucky. Right now we're sitting at 14 in Lexington. Think about that for a second. We're only going to go up maybe 2 or 3 more degrees by the time it's all said and done. Sunshine looks fantastic out there. Problem is, it's doing very little to warm us up. Now, a little bit of a breeze is still blowing. You factor in that breeze, and this is where it starts to feel just incredibly uncomfortable. The 14 was bad enough. Feels like 0, though, with that wind thrown into the equation, and you're also seeing some negative numbers. Covington, Maysville, Jackson all coming in at 2, 6, and 5 below 0 at this point. And from time to time, that'll change. This is just some of the latest information streamlined in. Even once we get to the peak heating of the day, our wind chill will remain in the single digits, an incredibly cold air mass. This will be followed up by snow chances coming up midweek and later on this week. We will track those too coming up in a few minutes.
All right, all of a sudden an interesting winter pattern out there. Well, frigid weather conditions such as the ones we have right now are dangerous and of course can be deadly.
Now, especially for people who don't have safe shelter from the wind and single-digit temperatures. In Moorhead, city leaders have opened a warming shelter to help protect those in need.
And WKYT's Victor Puente has more on that in our top story at 12:30. Victor.
Which shelter opens tonight in Moorhead will depend on how many people need assistance. The people in charge of the program say they just want to make sure no one near the city has to worry about staying warm tonight. The program is being spearheaded by the Gateway House Homeless Shelter. They say anyone who needs a warm place to stay tonight will have one. They're setting a staging area at the Gateway House from 6 to 9 tonight. The shelter's director tells me if only a few people show up, they'll keep them here at the shelter. But if they get a bigger crowd, they'll open up the Carl D. Perkins Center just down the road. Either way, when the temperature is this low, they say they want to make sure no one is out in it for very long. The mayor says even if only one person shows up, they'll keep the shelter open as long as they need to.
If it's for one family or one person, it doesn't matter. We've had it open for one person. And our job as a city and our job as a city government and a county government is to, our first job is to serve the people. And if we can have an ability to feed someone, keep somebody warm, we'll do that.
The shelter's director tells me that even if no one shows up tonight, they are working with police who know to notify them if they see anyone out and about who may need assistance. In Rowan County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
And the Moorhead shelter is open to anyone. They say they've often had guests from neighboring counties as well.
All right, we want to get you up to the minute now on a breaking news situation that we're tracking in Lexington right now. A busy road is closed right now, and it is due to a bad crash that has happened just before noon on Clays Mill Road and Cindy Blair Lane.
One person involved has life-threatening injuries. WKYT's Kristen Kennedy is live at the scene now with the breaking details. Kristen, what can you tell us?
Guys, Lexington police do have a crash reconstruction unit out here right now. They've blocked this portion of Clays Mill Road so they can investigate this wreck. What we do know is that this red truck was involved in a crash with a white minivan. That crash sent the red truck into a tree, and then that truck, we're told, was set on fire. The actual collision crash caused that truck to go up in flames. The flames climbed up a tree that truck ran into. We are told by Lexington fire crews that the individuals in that truck, there were 2 people in the truck at the time, were unable to get out. They're not sure if those individuals were unconscious, but they just know that they were trapped inside the truck. 2 people were able to rescue them, to pull them out of the truck. We're told both of them had to go to the hospital. One has life-threatening injuries, and we're told the other person has non-life-threatening injuries. We're still trying to get some information while we're out here, and so are Lexington police with their crash reconstruction unit. We're going to stay out here until we can figure out more information. For now, we're live in Lexington. Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
All right, so again, a fiery crash on this bitterly cold day along Clay's Mill. Thank you, Kristen. Homeless shelters around Lexington have extended their hours to help those out in the cold. Last night, the Catholic Action Center's Compassion Caravan picked up 79 people from the streets and brought them to shelters. Volunteers will be out again this afternoon and this evening and tonight looking for people who need shelter.
In Clark County, workers at the Beacon of Hope shelter say this cold weather has put a strain on their resources. The group needs help providing 3 hot meals a day for each of their guests. The shelter on Talbot Avenue in Winchester will accept donations any time of day. Now, despite the bitter cold out there, hundreds of people gathered in downtown Lexington earlier today to honor the memory of Dr. Martin Luther King.
WKYT's Mark Barber has been tracking the event throughout the day, and he joins us now with more. Mark?
Some worried that this morning's bitterly cold temperatures, we're talking wind chills between -5 and -10 degrees, would keep people away from this morning's Freedom March. Well, that wasn't the case because hundreds of people showed up to walk the streets of downtown Lexington. While it was extremely cold, they say it was extremely important to be here.
People still can unite to get things right, to be just, to be true.
Seneca Holden is marching with his young daughter because he wants her to see that the ideals of peace and unity that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. championed are still alive. Holden and nearly 2,000 others, bundled in coats and a layer of courage, to march a loop around downtown Lexington through the Arctic air this morning. Some who braved the bitter cold remember a different time, a time of segregation, a time when those who tried to march peacefully were attacked and beaten. While they say our nation has made a lot of progress, there is still a lot more left to be done.
We still all need to come together as one and work together to try to fix the racial issues, try to fix recidivism rate. I mean, there's so much work. We've come so far, but yet we still have so far to go.
At the end of the very long and very cold march, there was a warm welcome waiting for many people. Someone was handing out free coffee, and that was used to warm up some of those cold hands. In Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, Mark, thank you. And this morning, many people said that one of the key issues that needs to be addressed in our country is the relationship between police and black youth. Well, if you had trouble connecting with people on your phone or online this morning, you certainly were not alone. Windstream says a power outage at one of their locations knocked out phone and internet service to more than 300,000 people.
Now, the services were out for about an hour while Windstream rebooted its systems. Windstream says all phone and internet service is working again.
But a major inconvenience earlier in the day. Well, coming up on WKYT, could a tonsillectomy improve your quality of life?
If you're an adult who suffers from a chronically sore throat, it just might.
And we are not only tracking the cold, but snow chances coming mid and later on this week. I'll have the latest coming up.
Want to see the People's Choice winner for daytime hosting team in action?
Watch closely, because you're looking at them.
Today, Bridget Mendler and Romany Malco.
You have an alter ego? Oh, yeah, Tijuana Jackson. Okay. If you would have kept the mouth closed, I would have dated that guy. The Talk on CBS.
When big news breaks, be the first to know. Download the WKYT News app and turn on push alerts. Breaking news at your fingertips when you need to know what's going on.
When you slip and hurt yourself at a business, we find that oftentimes these stores have a history of being dirty. Think about the dirtiest store you know, and we're probably thinking of the same one. If you slip and fall and hurt yourself, do 2 things. Take a picture of the accident scene and request in writing the videotape from the store. If they don't give you the videotape, that letter will be a great advantage should your case go to trial. Visit forthepeople.com for more information. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
No matter what time it is or wherever you are, your Toyota dealers are always open at buyatoyota.com. Now, during Toyota's Anytime Anywhere event, you can lease this stylish new 2016 Toyota Corolla for just $159 a month. Or let the adventures begin with the new restyled 2016 RAV4 and get 0% financing. So visit here and then come in here for the new Toyota you've always wanted. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, Joe, how you doing with your new hearing aids?
Hey, Marty, they're great. I just wish I'd done it sooner.
If you play the TV too loudly, or if listening in some situations has become difficult, you're needed to participate in a special program called the 10-Day Challenge. You'll receive a complete hearing test and evaluation absolutely free.
Come on and be one of the 100 participants and take the 10-Day Challenge.
Hearing Solutions, helping you listen to what you're missing.
Oh, man, these wings look good.
Yeah, this spicy honey barbecue sauce is so good, it'll change your life.
Sir, it looks like we're leading in the polls.
You're running for president?
Don't answer that.
Life-changing? Maybe. Indescribably good? Definitely. The boneless wings meal with spicy honey barbecue sauce, served with crinkle fries and a small drink. Zaxby's. Indescribably good.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on Mix 94.5.
Tracking a significantly, terribly cold air mass out there right now. And it's a truly an Arctic air mass sitting right on top of us. But if you look outside here on our sky cam, you don't think anything about it because it looks really nice with the sunshine. The sun is doing very little to warm anything up. Look at some of these readings. These are temperatures. 14 degrees right now in Lexington, Richmond, Danville, 12 in London. Jackson comes in at 12. A lot of cold air, and even one single digit still remaining in the area for an actual air temperature into the Covington area. This is part of a much colder air mass. I mean, just look at this big chunk of the country that is seeing cold air. Even that 34 in Atlanta, that's not what they're supposed to be getting in on. Could be a little bit colder there tonight as well as the air mass continues to sink southward across the deep south. But it's all coming from right here. When the winds are flowing from an air mass that's sub-zero, naturally you're going to get in on some of that in a modified dose. Thankfully, it's modified dose. Otherwise, we'd be talking about wind chills maybe negative 15 or higher in some cases. Well, lower in that particular case. Right now, the wind chill, though, is already at 0 in Lexington, Richmond, Danville, Mount Sterling, Frankfort, all right there at that mark, and some sub-zero readings as well. I think we'll remain in the single digits or around sub-zero spots throughout the rest of the afternoon into the evening. Some cloud cover hanging out again for us, but as far as the radar, the true radar, it's quiet. A few pockets of snow also were showing up across eastern Kentucky earlier. Now, let's get into the hour by hour because it's obviously going to reveal more cold for tomorrow morning. We're in the single digits again. We get into the daytime hours closer to 20, and I think we will reach 20 in many areas for a high tomorrow. So the chill subsides a little bit and continues to do so because it's opening up the door for moisture, and when you do that, you run into a little bit of a warmer air mass. So it's going to shoot some warmer air from the south. Not much, but what it's going to do, it's also going to set us up for a chance of snow sweeping through the area on Wednesday. One of our other models that we look at, it's called the NAM. It's now suggesting we get in on 2, 3, even trying to come in closer to 5 inches in some areas. So again, we're trying to piece all of these together, and I'm just showing you different variations of models to try to let you know that it's certainly coming together quite nicely for accumulation. That's what we're concerned about. So at least feel confident in saying that we'll have some around here by Wednesday night.
Yeah, 2 events in Wednesday and Friday, right?
And the latter one might have a little more of a bite to it, so we're going to watch it closely.
Okay, we will see.
Thank you.
Thanks. How older people can sharpen their minds, and do tonsillectomies benefit adults?
Kenneth Craig has details in this Better Living report.
A new study finds tonsillectomies can improve the quality of life for adults who suffer from frequent sore throats. German researchers tracked over 100 adults who had their tonsils removed and found they had fewer sore throats, doctor visits, and work absences. Ads for e-cigarettes with flavors like chocolate and bubblegum are more likely to attract children than ads featuring non-flavored e-cigarettes. That's according to UK researchers who tested nearly 600 children. There are currently no regulations keeping advertisers from pitching candy-flavored e-cigarettes in the U.S. And Texas researchers say challenging the brain can slow cognitive decline. During a 14-week study, some older adults learned quilting and digital photography, while others sat around and talked. Researchers found people who learn new skills improve their memory and ability to understand words. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
Hope you'll stay with us now on WKYT on this day that is set aside to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his dream. A look at the progress that is being made in this country and where we go from here.
We'll talk with the Director of African American Studies at a major Kentucky university next on WKYT.
Every moment in life is precious, and you never know what's going to happen next. When the unexpected happens, like getting hurt in a car wreck, it can be devastating. But we're here to help. I'm attorney Daryl Isaacs, the Hammer. If you've been injured in a car wreck, call Isaacs & Isaacs so my firm can help you get what you deserve for your car repairs, medical bills, and your pain and suffering.
Calling the Hammer is a way to go down to 553-0000.
Up to now, affording a beautiful smile has been, well, sketchy. Doctors Durbin, Walks, and Garner are offering no down payment and only $175 for 24 months on orthodontic treatment. Now that's something to smile about. Learn more at clearchoicesmile.com.
Meet the Moores. We're the Moore family, and we're always looking for ways to enjoy more.
So we called Time Warner Cable and got even more than we expected. More speed.
More TV shows and movies on demand.
More places to make more unlimited calls.
They even made it easy to switch with a 1-hour arrival window.
For $89.99 a month, you'll get 30 meg internet, TV, and phone. Plus, free installation with a 1-hour arrival window. TV equipment and Epics included. Call for more now.
What's the affordable difference? It's their very affordable fees.
They care about me.
Dentures in just one day.
Their experienced denture team.
Call 1-800-DENTURE or go to affordabledentures.com for valuable coupons. Same-day dentures, extractions, and implants. Affordable fees, compassionate care, and satisfied patients.
What's the affordable difference? A great smile.
Folks have been taking the short drive to satisfaction for over 20 years. Folks from everywhere come here. Not just from here in Winchester. And who wouldn't come here? With over 2,500 vehicles to choose from here in Winchester, Kentucky. No matter if it's 100 miles or the short drive from Lexington, our staff will help you start your journey. Tim Short Chevrolet. R&R Archery and Outdoors, the only archery pro shop in Central Kentucky, now at their new location in Georgetown. For the ultimate shooting experience, the pro staff will get your hands on a bow that fits you. Hoyt, Matthews, Mission, Bear, 10-point, Parker crossbows, Genesis bows. Full line of accessories and a service maintenance department that can work on all models and makes of bow. Indoor practice range and certified archery instructors. Hit your target at R&R Archery and Outdoors.
Did your family set a goal to become healthier in the new year? One family did and lost 300 pounds at Ageless. Bruce lost 92 pounds, Adam lost 64 pounds, and Catherine lost 151 pounds. For a medically supervised, affordable weight loss solution, call Ageless today for a free consultation.
Welcome back. People across the nation are honoring the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today at various community celebrations and programs.
We're joined today by Professor Timothy Ford, Director of African American Studies at Eastern Kentucky University, to reflect on how far we've come and what still needs to be done to promote King's ideals. Welcome. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
What do you see as the greatest challenge that we still face at this day?
I think we still need to remember his message and the urgency of now. We all have a part to play in making sure that America realizes the ideas that were set forth by, I read somewhere that all men were created equal, endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights. We still have a way to go in making sure that we can realize those words.
What can be done from an educational standpoint so that people understand each other?
Yeah, I think we need to reframe education. Education needs to be coupled with social activity. It needs to be coupled with political access. It needs to be coupled with character development. It is not enough to just develop content about a subject. We need to be able to feel that subject. We need to be involved in service learning where we can actually feel and help those who are marginalized or where there's injustice going on.
Sometimes it's far too easy for people to sit back and say somebody else will take care of that.
Absolutely.
What do you tell individuals that they can do to really make a difference?
Sure. For me, it starts personally. So you can start right in your community, in your family, making sure that everybody is dedicated to excellence and that no one will sit by and let injustices go unserved or unmentioned.
What do you find as far as changes in your students over the years and their attitudes of now as compared to a few years ago?
Well, the biggest difference, I think, is that our kids don't really know about the great history that we have and how Dr. Martin Luther King was actually in Kentucky and Frankfurt. So the biggest challenge for me is educating them about their history and about themselves.
Are you optimistic as you look at things now? Because, you know, a lot of people aren't. There have been a lot of things that have happened across the country. Do you find some optimism out there?
Well, I don't think I do, but Dr. King was an eternal optimist, and so when I look at what he went through and look at our situation today, I have to lean on his shoulders and say, you know what, we can create an America with higher ideals. So in the sense that Dr. King didn't give up, we can't give up. We've come too far to stop now.
Do you think people are open to learning and to re-emerging themselves in his ideals?
I don't think they are, but I think we can create that capacity by each of us deciding that on ourselves, each in our own family, that we are going to do what we can. I think the media, some of the media are doing really, really wonderful things, but other parts of the media are really putting forth a lot of negative messages that we've got to overcome.
Dr. Timothy Ford, who is Director of African American Studies at EKU, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it very much.
Glad to see you today. Well, putting refugees on the path to U.S. citizenship.
We'll see how Kentucky Refugee Ministries is helping people learn about this country. Coming up on WKYT.
Hello everyone, Amber Canoy here from MomsEveryday.com. We are right outside Lexington Diagnostic Center and Open MRI with Devonna Sayer. And I have heard so many fabulous things about your pricing, but a lot also about your care. And as a mom, I want to know more, especially about how you all take care of kids.
Well, we're proud of our pricing, but we're very proud of our compassionate care. We see patients of all ages, including children. You know, getting into a machine and having medical imaging can be very scary for a child. So we meet them where they are, and sometimes we say, you know, you're an astronaut, you need to be still in the spaceship. Whatever needs to be done to get it taken care of, we do a very good job of that.
You might even have to use that technique on a few adults.
Oh, absolutely, and we're happy to do that. Our open MRI is great for claustrophobic patients, so we're always happy to take any patient.
All right, go online for more information.
After you're injured at work, a lot of times the insurance company will attempt to call you, take statements. Don't speak to them until you speak with an experienced workers' compensation attorney.
The insurance company will attempt to settle your case for pennies on the dollar. Before you talk to the insurance company, call us first.
Our job is to make sure you get all the money you deserve.
Call Morgan, Collins, and Yeast. 1-800-55-WILDCAT.
It's not good for you. It can cause lung cancer. You would die and go to a graveyard. They see other people doing it and then they think that it's okay, but whenever they start doing it, it's like an addiction to them. Exercise and eat healthy foods. Can run, you can eat vegetables. Take good care of yourself and eat fruits and vegetables. I do jumping jacks. I swim. I would say it's never too late to quit, so can you quit now?
Torture of an elderly woman in a nursing home.
Her grandmother was being abused. Nationwide, about 1 in 3 homes have been cited for abuse.
Nursing home abuse happens daily, and our loved ones need protection. If you or someone you love has experienced nursing home abuse, call 800-800-4600. If your loved one has suffered from malnutrition, dehydration, broken bones, or bed sores, don't wait. Call Hughes and Coleman. Call 800-800-4600. You need to act now.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on Rewind 105.5.
Welcome back. Good to have you with us on WKYT on this cold day here on this Monday. It's an important and challenging step for refugees on the path to becoming U.S. citizens. Kentucky Refugee Ministries is offering free classes for people preparing for the naturalization process.
We're joined now by Dana Lee, Kentucky Refugee Ministries citizenship instructor. Thank you very much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
By design, the requirements for becoming a U.S. citizen are rigorous and rigid, aren't they?
They are. They really are. You have to have been a permanent resident for 5 years in America, as well as they look at a good moral standard for any applicants for citizenship. So we work with our clients to make sure that they meet those requirements and are able to answer questions about America, the history, about themselves, and their character.
As you work with those families, what does it mean to them to be taking this step, and how meaningful is it for you to be a part of the process?
That's actually one of the questions I ask them is, why do you want to be a citizen? And they know the answers to the questions is in, I have more rights as a citizen, I can vote, I can run for office, but for them it really means to have a new home, especially for refugees who might have been stateless or have lived in a camp outside of their homes their whole lives. They just really want to be accepted by America and become Americans themselves. They say it's their dream. It's great to be on MLK Day here because they do say, I have a dream, and it's to become an American citizen. And for me as the instructor, it's amazing to be able to help them to come to the realization of their dream, and they're very appreciative.
And what are the kinds of things that you teach when you offer these courses?
So we do prep for their application, which they file with our lawyer, Emily Jones, or with a lawyer in the city, like Maxwell Street Clinic, and then they come to me for the preparation. So we go through the application, make sure they can speak English about themselves and their lives. They do American history and people, everyone from George Washington to their favorite president, they always say Obama. And I just make sure that they're able to go into that interview confidently and to pass all the reading and writing and speaking steps to become a citizen.
And we've had that information up on the screen, the night classes now, and people can call and get more information and take part in the classes then.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And there's the website as well, KYRM.org, for more information about it.
Thank you.
All right, it's been a very cold day, and it sounds like that is not letting up anytime soon.
Really, Jimmy, what else is ahead for us?
It's going to get worse as we progress into the latter part of the evening and overnight again, because we're all going to get back into that sub-zero territory with those wind chills. This time period around 4 o'clock, usually this time of year when we see the peak heating, when it should be the warmest. But the wind chill will say, no way, no how. We're right around 4 or 5 degrees as far as what it feels like when you walk outside. And then we get into the nighttime period, those negative numbers start showing up again and get even worse as we get into the early morning hours tomorrow and our 7-day forecast. It is action-packed, starting with the cold right now. And then you get into Wednesday, our snow chances will start rolling into the area. That could produce a few inches. And then another system toward the end of the week. It's just a big old wintry mess coming at us, guys.
All right, we're going to have to keep our eyes wide open here for the week ahead. Thank you for joining us for WKYT News at noon.
Make it a great day, everybody.